Wine Before Pearls podcast with Joel and Trent.
Hello, and welcome to the Carly Rae Jepsen Evangelism Podcast. Today, we are evangelizing for the Queen. We are all big fans except for Jack.
Yeah. I thought she was Demi Lovato until about 30 minutes ago.
What do you personally have against Carly Rae?
Religiously, Jack.
She came out with this new song and you had no idea.
Nope.
Yeah. What's the deal?
Well, Joel, why don't you explain how you found this song?
Well, so it was a reasonable hour to be on the internet, and I was in the YouTube recommended section, and I was looking around, and this Carly Rae Jepsen song came on, and it changed something in me. It made me feel a certain way. The feelings are, adult in nature.
Oh God.
I've made a mistake.
I picked a bad topic.
I'm waiting to get cut off, but anyway, so they're pretty adult, man. Like, I felt something, and
Okay. So anyway, that's the last time we ever talk about pop music on this podcast.
I like that you had the pinky
Instead,
out.
let's talk about how Jack's making a mess.
In which aspect? on the table?
Just
in my
in your life
Of your
in
life,
general.
Of your life.
If you could go back in time and fix two things about yourself, what would it be?
I'd eat more vegetables
Why?
because I feel like I've become sickly in my old age.
That's probably because you eat pizza
This is true.
for most of your meals.
Yeah, I would eat more vegetables. And I would invest in Bitcoin and pull out in 2020 December when it was $69,000 a coin.
What's pull out mean?
Yeah, I don't.
Trent, what would you change about yourself?
Okay.
Two things.
So two things I would change about myself. First off, I'd make better choices in friendships. You know?
Yeah, me too.
There are some people who take you down the bad paths in life.
Yeah.
And
Like
this guy I know, his name is Shmuel Benekut. He's a little bit of a free spirit, a bad influence. You know, he put a naked Barbie on.
Would you just live that down? Oh my goodness!
No, that's you. That's you.
I don't know if I've heard the
the.
naked Barbie story.
It's in the podcast.
It's in the pod. We're not
Listen to all
redoing
of
this.
your episodes.
What?
We're not redoing this. This was the most embarrassing moment.
Give the Sparks notes.
Okay.
I found naked Barbies. I did not grow up around
not-
feminine
Not
things.
find them. He made them.
I
that
made them naked. I needed to see what they looked like. I was a young boy, and no one taught me anything. I was incredibly sheltered, and and the Barbies did not help to clarify any of the questions I had.
You thought they did, at least.
Yeah,
There's nothing.
I was
There's nothing there.
I was confused.
They're all homunculi.
So we're just airing out all of Joel's dirty laundry.
Yeah, keep
tonight.
it going. Why not?
Okay.
One time.
Things I would have changed. Not starting this podcast. And I would have gone to a good school.
You were homeschooled.
Would have gone to a better school.
This episode goes out to Joel's mom.
Thanks, Mom. She never watches this stuff.
Oh, she doesn't.
My parents think this is like smut.
Oh.
You know, this is like trash they'd walk
Dude,
over if
you're-
they saw it in the street.
Your dad used to come to me every single week and just tell me how much he loved the podcast.
Well, now he doesn't care about it.
Yay!
Does he not watch it?
My dad?
Uncle Dave.
I don't think he has. I think he's.
Can I say that? That reveal too much about your.
Yeah, my address too is. Yeah, Dad doesn't really care.
Your avid fans are trying to
Yeah,
determine
sad.
where exactly you are located.
Yeah. So Jack's here.
Jack's here. Welcome.
Hi, Jack.
Hey, fellas.
You,
All right.
we,
Thanks for
we rem-
having me on the
We
show.
remember you from.
Yeah.
You
And
might.
now we talk about whatever we want.
Tell us about. You know what? Give us a rundown about dentistry.
Why would I know?
Talk to
anything?
me like a
Why
5-year-old.
would I know anything?
Tell me
that?
about dentistry like I'm a 5-year-old.
You know, yeah,
Yoy.
yeah, cute.
Yoy.
You
Wow.
know, you clean the teeth and you fix it. if it's
Boo! You suck.
I don't understand. I'm 5.
you know, you clean teeth.
What are teeth?
Just like bones in your mouth.
Are they bones?
I don't know.
Bones.
Are they like Are they like antlers? Like deer antlers? Are they like made out of the same thing?
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't think so.
Wait, they're made out of venison?
Yeah, they're made out of venison.
You know what? Let's talk about Southwest Airlines.
All right.
That's a topic I'm feeling.
Why not? That's
passionate
current.
about.
Yeah, go for it. Get on there, Jack.
So, I was planning on visiting these lovely gentlemen, and I bought a ticket from an anonymous airline company called Southwest.
Hey. You didn't. That wasn't anonymous.
Are you gonna lose a sponsor?
Yes. This podcast.
Thank
is
you,
sponsored-
United Airlines, for sponsoring this podcast. No, so I bought a Southwest.
Quit playing with that.
I know. I'm sorry, like a little boy.
Grow up.
So I was trying to drive to the airport. I left at like 4:45 a.m. And I see that I got a text like 30 minutes earlier as I'm driving there that's saying, your flight was canceled. Please talk to the gate agent. It's like, well, they probably just canceled this because of some weird reason. There's a bunch of flights going out today. I'll get rolled over in the next one. Turns out, not only did they cancel all the flights for Southwest leaving out that day, they canceled them everywhere across the country for the whole week. So on that particular day, the day that I chose to fly out to here, this anonymous safe house, Southwest went under, and they canceled about 3,000 flights yesterday. So I drove from Ontario to this location.
Nice.
That's really good.
That was a good story.
So anyway, today's episode was sponsored by Southwest Airlines, the #1 airport in Denver. With Southwest
tell them
Airline, you get 2 free bags, no change or cancel fees, rapid rewards points that don't expire,
And no
flight
flights and no flights out of anywhere in the country.
Hey,
Finish the ad read.
book now, and please don't switch over to United or another service. We really appreciate your business, and we are very thankful for our customers. We couldn't do this without you.
Couldn't do it with them.
Our customer first attitude has always led us down bright paths, and I hope you all reconsider very carefully which airlines you choose.
So, what's our promo code on that?
The promo code is southwest.org/swiggles before piggles.
Okay. This is a good topic. I think we
Yeah.
should just talk about air travel, airports. Air.
The whole airport experience.
Yeah, let's just talk about airports, guys. I mean,
Okay.
this is a common one. We've all flown.
Yeah. So, random story, since it's on the front of my mind. There's a guy on Reddit, right? I know you guys hate me already, but this is like the weirdest degen Redditor yet, because he just makes a bunch of memes that are like vaguely about airports, but they're really an agenda against people wearing pajama pants at airports, and he just slips them into like those starter pack memes, and they're like pretty generic stuff that doesn't matter, and then it's pretty consistently he's got pajama pants.
What's his
Hate.
what's his tiff? Why is he pissed off about pajama pants?
'Cause he doesn't-
Steven, can you censor that?
he doesn't like people
Why is he
being
pissed?
comfy at the airport.
Well, used to back in the day, people always would dress up for planes.
Yeah,
It was-
people used to wear suits.
is a big deal. You used to not be able to get let into first class if you weren't wearing at least business casual. And I mean, I say back in the day, like I'm talking
Wait,
early 2000s.
They didn't let you into first class,
if you weren't business casual.
but you have to walk through first class in order to get to the peasant seat.
Yeah, you walk through it,
You
and
walk
they like
through it, but-
gawk at you, like
Yeah.
throw tomatoes,
That's true.
excrement at you.
Don't you feel pathetic walking past?
I don't do it anymore.
I
Like,
don't, because I always fly first class.
Oh, look at this guy.
No.
Everything
I
is-
have flown, but not. I don't fly at all apparently nowadays.
Everything is economy now, so you get
Oh,
on
true.
you get on the plane.
Yeah, Southwest I don't think has first class.
You get on the plane. I've flown 3 airlines in my adult life so far. No, I've flown more.
United has that first class.
Yeah,
though.
United has it. I think American has it, but all these budget airlines that we tend to go on, I don't think they've got first class anymore. So I was flying back from California from a work trip, and dude, I was tired, man. I was very tired, and when you're tired, you can get 2 ways of tires. Like you get 2 types of tires. You get either really short with people, or you just don't care too much anymore. And I got into the point of like,
That's just like your general attitude.
well, yeah, but I got into that general attitude of like, I don't really care what goes on. So I'm on Spirit Airlines, and this chick sits down next to me. She's pretty cute. She's wearing sleep pants. What are you laughing about?
No, go on.
She's wearing sleep pants, and she's got like this big blanket over her. It's kind of, she looks about our age, but she's like kind of got like this methy look. You guys know the methy look, right?
Every morning.
Every morning. Trent, you know what a methy look is, right? Could you describe to me a methy look?
No, I've never come across someone who's
So-
done so much as marijuana in my life.
So methy look is like, they got that kind of crazy look in their eye. Like they're going to tell you something about the government that might be true, might not be true. And their teeth kind of start falling out, and the eyes are a little bit sunken. Kind of like how Jack looks half the time. Really sunken eyes, really strained cuticles back there. So anyway, so she sits down next to me, and she's got the big blanket over her, and she's got a cat. She's got a cat underneath her blanket. And they're supposed to keep animals in like carriers and stuff. No, she just got a cat. And then she was looking at me with those big doughy meth eyes, and she was like,
I thought you said she was cute.
yeah, she was cute, but she was methy. I think methy girls can be cute because you want to like save them. You want to like give them a hot lunch. You want to like get them into rehab. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you want to take them to church. You don't want them to meet your parents, but you want to like drop them off on a doorstep in front of a fire station somewhere. So she was cute, but she was messy, and she had a cat, and she kept staring at me with those big doe eyes, and I didn't really say anything because I didn't care because I was tired and I wanted to go home, and it was Spirit Airlines. So that's my recommendation for Spirit Airlines. Interesting class of people that ride on there. I am one of them. I could, I do not have good hygiene. I've never had good hygiene. I have good hygiene. And so if you sit next to me on an airplane, I will ground the plane at some point because the stench of my armpits is so potent and eye-watering that landing in St. Louis is the only viable option to clear out the plane.
That's a really good story.
One time I was on a plane next to a lady as well. One of those planes with the little movie things on there.
Mhm.
Oh,
I was bored, and so I just picked a random movie. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm on a plane. This, you always watch those movies where people are like, oh, did you see Avatar 2? And then you say, oh, I watched it on the plane.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
You didn't really watch it.
right. So I was watching some movie. The lady next to me, and she's like, oh, don't watch that. It's awful. The ending sucks. It's like, I don't remember asking. Yeah, I thought it was intuitive that once I put my headphones in and started a movie that I wouldn't be talking to you. So I was
What'd you do?
So what I did was I looked through and I was like, I need to find the most boring movie that this lady has guaranteed never watched in her life, so she can't comment on it, because she kept like commenting on all the different movies on there. So I picked like the Abraham Lincoln movie with Daniel Day-Lewis, where he's like, I'm Abraham Lincoln, and I just turned it on so she wouldn't say anything to me. I did it out of spite for her. I wasn't even watching the movie.
I would have watched the movie that she said don't watch, and I would have looked her in the eye and clicked it, and then like laughed and cried and act like it was the best movie in my entire life. Something I don't like, dude, is people that watch movies with sex scenes on the plane, and they're not even trying to hide it. Like it's just out in the open. Like I was sitting in the aisle and I was just looking over, and this guy has his big ass laptop, pulls it open, and it's just this graphic,
All right.
graphic fraternization of adults on the screen. But he's just eating his chips, like everything's cool. That was also on Spirit Airlines.
What? I think we're noticing the common trend. But what do you do? Like, let's say you're watching
You don't
any old Netflix show, right? It's bound to come across.
So I think about this ahead of time, right? Because I watch shows sometimes.
You find that difficult to believe, Trent?
No. Listen. There's two things I don't want to be seen as on an airplane. I don't want to be seen as a man-child, so no adult cartoons. I can't watch, Family Guy on the airplane and be a respectable gentleman when I leave. Okay, I can watch that in the privacy of my own home, and it's the same thing with adult situations and movies. So what I do is I just pre-screen things, make sure it's good to go for the plane, and then I watch it on the plane in front of God and everybody.
You gotta look at the focus on the family.
Plugged in online.
I was about to say, they have ratings for movies.
There was a very passionate kiss in this.
They have the PG-13 ratings to let you know.
I wonder if Dr. Dobson and his gang of goons would hire me to rate movies based off of how appropriate it is for airplanes.
Well, some of them have like the screen to where if you're sitting right here, it's completely darked out.
Well, I am not a rich man, so I don't have that
no.
Oh, on the actual planes, they have that technology.
Yeah, here's what you
built
gotta
in.
do though, is you just gotta get the window seat. And you do a little corner sit with your phone. You just kind of use your whole body to hide your phone, and then nobody knows what you're watching.
That's great, but
It's even worse.
But
I think
that's fine. But sometimes I do the crotch move, so I just stick the phone just down here in between my legs, and I use my big old thighs like blinders, and I just look down like this the entire time.
That sounds like it really hurts your neck.
Oh, it's terrible, dude. It is not fun. But speaking of window seats, I love the concept of a window seat. I think there's just so much power in that seat. I think that is the alpha seat on the plane, is the window seat.
You can tell how old someone is mentally based on whether they prefer aisle or window seat.
you can tell how old someone is physically on aisle or window seat.
Well,
Joel's a child.
Well, that's what I love about it. Is like you get to inconvenience everybody if you just got to go take a leak. Like if it's on the aisle seat, you just get up and it's nobody's problem. But if you're on the window seat, oh dude, that's a 5-minute process. And then you get to open up the blinders when people don't want the blinders open. Ooh. And it's just like, oh, I'd like to see what's going on outside. And you just put the lights of heaven in the cabin while you're like, oh, look, crop circles. And I think it's just a cool seat. I think it's a great seat.
You know what? I really like the middle seat. It's got everything. It's got two people you can hold hands with. Maybe, it's ambiguous as to who owns what armrest.
Fair.
And that's just a lot of fun for you to not be able to tell whether an armrest is yours. You heard of this genre of games called roguelike, where it's randomly generated every time. That's the armrest situation in the middle seat. It's like, what surprise am I getting today?
Now, are you guys battle for the armrest kind of people, or are you guys just subservient?
That's a good question.
I'm subservient.
I don't know.
I'm a beta. I'll admit that I'm an armrest beta.
I battle.
I haven't thought about it.
Dude, I know you battle.
I
Dude,
battle.
I've sat between you and another severe man spreader before. It's miserable. You are an extreme man spreader,
Dude,
Joel.
I need space, man. This stuff hurts.
We all need space.
Yeah, but I need space, dude. Like I'm not going to fix the way I sit. I won't.
You gotta consider other people.
I
need space
consider
too.
other people,
You
but I don't
don't.
care about you.
You don't care about anybody.
No,
but
no, no.
yourself,
I don't
Joel.
care about you specifically. I'm very conscientious about my space when I'm in public.
Oh,
But
yeah?
when it comes to you, I couldn't care less, dude.
What if I need my space?
You
Joel?
don't need it because you would battle me for it, and you don't because you're subservient. You're weak.
I've battled you for it.
No, you
but I've-
haven't.
Yeah.
You haven't won.
Yeah. But I was between two man spreaders, all right? That's when you're in a lose-lose situation, my guy.
You just complain so much about the world around you, and you
Yeah,
don't want to do
all right.
anything to change it.
We've caught him, fellas. We've caught him. He did the old bring up a valid complaint. Oh, a valid complaint? I can't believe you brought up a valid complaint. You're too observant of things that have gone wrong.
I don't think that's a valid complaint.
Of course,
I think
you
that's a
don't.
personal preference.
Of course you don't.
I think my space to spread my legs out where it's comfortable for me matters just as much, if not more, than your space to sit.
Have you gentlemen ever heard of the fallacy? The fallacy says that just because you argue something poorly doesn't necessarily mean that the topic itself is wrong just because it's poorly represented.
So who's right? Could you just
mediate the
could you just
discussion,
pick a
Jack.
winner?
Pick a winner.
Yeah, could you
Yeah,
pick a winner?
Hey, Jack.
Real quick.
What are you gonna show him your?
No, just a little consideration gift.
Those are ones. Jack, if you take that, you're sleeping outside tonight.
No. The jury's out on this one.
I think that should more than cover it.
Buy myself a brand new cousin.
You can come stay at my house, Jack.
You can't leave. Like, snowed in.
You're stuck here with us.
Oh, it's real snowy
Well.
today, guys.
Yeah. But anyways, that's my opinion on that.
What's your opinion on Joel's man spreading, Jack?
I haven't really noticed the man spreading, but I will say when we were teenagers, Joel did this funny thing that when we'd walk side by side, parallel, he walked slightly inward towards me. So as we walk, he'd constantly just be driving me off the path into roads, into
still
gravel,
does
into
that.
the dirt. I haven't noticed it, but especially when we were like teenagers,
That's my cattle herding tendency.
he'll just be walking and slowly drawing you in as he goes.
Are you a German Shepherd, Joel?
That's my blue heeler tendency. Well, here's the thing. I think my equilibrium's a little bit jacked, and then I think I was born pigeon-toed.
This is true.
I was born pigeon-toed, so I never. Yeah, quit touching junk. Here's your coffee mug. Gosh, grow up. I was born pigeon-toed, and so there's two differences, right? There's the duck feet and there's pigeon-toed. And if you're duck-footed, and Jack is severely duck-footed.
I do have the duck foot. It's really
I
bad
rem-
when I run.
I remember when Jack was in high school, he did this stupid bow-legged thing where he'd always go around and like really strut out
was
and really bow-legged.
It was cool.
No, it wasn't. But
Everything Jack does is cool.
no, it's not.
Yeah.
Growing up is realizing that Jack is kind of mid.
What? No.
But yeah, it's pigeon-toed, so my toes would point inward, so it's kind of hard for me to like walk and stuff. But now it's not.
Yeah.
Now I got better at walking.
Oh wow.
My duck footedness impacted running. I tried to get into running when COVID started, and I was running like 3 5Ks a week. So I was doing decent, and my heart rate went down to like 58 beats per minute. My
Whoa.
resting heart rate. I was feeling good, but my knees started getting like really bad because I was running, and I saw a video. Someone had filmed me running from behind, and my legs were like to the side.
Yeah, me too. That's the reason I don't run. Is it's my duck feet.
Are we duck brothers?
We're duck brothers. That's obviously.
Stop making distinctions among yourselves.
Hey, welcome to the Duck Brothers podcast.
This is spin-off show.
All right.
This was
Hey.
literally back to grade school.
So-
and Fred was like, if you have blue eyes, you can hang out with us.
You can hang yourself. If you got blue eyes.
If you have blonde hair and blue eyes, you're a part of a special
Uh-oh.
group.
Well, anyway, welcome to the new podcast, Jack. Where
Ducks
we talk.
before swine.
Yep, we
Ducks
talk
before-
about the greatest works of art of all time, and we actually take a lot of time to research and think through everything we talk about every episode.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the hard work and dedication you gentlemen put into making content. So I was looking at your channel.
Yep.
I was looking at your channel. Who to look at? I was looking at your channel the other
Yep.
day. I was looking at your most viewed ones. I think you're your three top one. Two of them are like music review albums.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we should review an album real quick before the night's
Ooh.
over. But I noticed the third most viewed one was the Barbie. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
That's-
Barbie video was like, you guys almost have 1,000 views.
That
on
was so low effort.
That was,
People, I think it was the thumbnail that really sold it.
that was a good thumbnail. I haven't reproduced that magic since.
That was
good.
a pretty good, goofy looking thumbnail. But we don't have any comments or engagement, so
No.
it means that people didn't actually care.
They didn't like the video. They just liked the thumbnail.
That's okay. We should just make thumbnails.
Ooh, thumbnails before swine.
All right. Well,
You guys should start to make a fist, and I'll be like, oh, and you
my
can be like,
gosh.
actual fight breaks out, and Steven can clip the part where you were talking mean at him.
yeah.
Whoa.
And then I'll be like,
Wait.
I think Trent is a self-centered, self-loathing
Whoa.
degen that is better suited to live under a bridge than any sort of household.
Hey, I'm not going to take that, okay? First of all, the term isn't degen anymore. It's self-respecting man who values his Overwatch rank more than getting women right now, obviously. And second off, all I have to do is bring up the Barbie incident again and you crack.
You know what? I learned in a special program for special people that we accept the things we cannot change. We do not shut the door on the past, nor do we regret it.
Is that Will Rogers?
That was Buck Rogers
Oh,
in the
wow.
24th century. So therefore, based off those tenets in which I live my life by, I cannot change the fact that yes, I did strip down a Barbie doll, naked as the day she was created in a Chinese plastic factory. Nor will I want to change it because guess what? That was my past. And you know what? It made me a better person because I got to date more women than all two of these guys combined. Was it toxic? Yes. Did it cause me a lot of hardship? Yes. Would I go back and change that? Yes. But I can't change it, so I just accept it.
Well,
So that you don't have power over me.
I do have
Go ahead and
power
say
over
it.
you.
Say it.
Yep.
Say, Joel, you stripped down Barbies naked.
Joel?
Yeah. Go ahead and say it. It doesn't have any power over me.
Joel?
Yeah.
You?
What's he gonna bring up? Is this gonna be new stuff or
Do you have any new stuff?
you have
I
new
probably
you
do.
got new Barbies?
You got
Uh-oh.
any more Barbies?
You are a bad influence. My parents said so, and they wanted me to fix you.
Well, you did a crap job of that.
Wow.
Keep me out of jail next time.
Did
Oh,
a
sorry.
bang up job.
Different-
Trent.
A disaster. You win the fight, Joel.
Anyways, so Jack said he wanted to talk about a music album. That'll be a great thing for this podcast when we have the thumbnail is we talk about this album and then it's 30 minutes of filler.
Yeah. You could put
All
a little
right.
thing that says skip to 37:42 to hear our opinions.
Okay.
All right, let's go and take a general vote.
All right. On what?
On an album to cover.
On an album to
or
cover.
or a song or an artist.
Okay.
We will do this very
Well, the
sloppy.
tricky thing is that we need to know. It needs to be something that all three of us would recognize. Or
Okay.
does it? Does it?
It could be. It couldn't be.
We could not listen to it in the show.
We could
copyrighted.
verbally describe the music that you haven't heard.
Okay.
Um,
Let's see. Let's talk about. Oh, you know what? Jack should know this album. Abbey Road by the Beatles. We'll get that Beatles superstand back.
The who?
Abbey Road by the Beatles.
Abbey Road. I love the song. He's like, do, do, Abbey Road.
Abbey Road.
Abbey
Road. Abbey Road.
Abbey Road.
Sing it with me, guys. Abbey Road, take me home to the place I belong. Where were they from again?
West
They're from
Liverpool.
London.
They're from Liverpool.
Liverpool.
You should know this. You're the Beatles, Stan.
London. I knew it started with an L. And it was in England, so I was 2 for 3.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty
So
good.
Abbey Road.
Yeah.
What songs are on Abbey Road?
Okay, so
Octopus's
first up,
Garden is
yeah,
on it.
we have Octopus's Garden. What's your thoughts on Octopus's Garden, Joel?
On Octopus's Garden?
Yeah.
I like Strawberry Fields better.
That's not even in this album.
Yeah.
I'd like to be.
And I'm saying I like
noticing.
Strawberry Fields better than Octopus
Octopus's
Garden.
Garden?
That's my opinion.
Well, what was cool about Octopus Garden was Ringo wrote that one.
Oh, really?
And he sings it too. It's like most of the songs, either John or Paul did the singing, but that was the one that
Here you go, Ringo. We'll put it on the fridge.
it
That's really nice.
Put it right on the fridge.
You know what's kind of an underrated jam on Abbey Road?
Maxwell
Yes,
Silverhammer.
Maxwell's Silver Hammer.
I love that one.
I'm glad that.
I haven't-
Oh wait. Oh no. I hope that.
Oh, we're done for. Paul's
But-
like, they played our song on the podcast. I wish I brought my little round glasses so I
Ooh.
could pretend it to be John
But-
Lennon.
I love Maxwell's Silver Hammer because it's this fun little song about a guy who goes on dates and goes to court and he just kills everybody in sight with his silver hammer.
That one's pretty good.
There's a little catchy jingle where he's banging people over the head. If I was a student making a music video,
My
I think I would
favorite,
consider that.
and it pertains to my love life, is I Want You, She Is So Heavy.
You do like
Just
some
look
bigger
it up.
girls.
trying to
You don't,
remember.
but do you even know that song?
I Want You, She's
Yeah.
So Heavy. No, dude, I don't actually know a lot from Abbey Road.
You know just about as much right now as you do if you would
If I did the
recorded
research.
a regular
Yeah.
podcast.
I know
episode.
Here Comes the Sun, but that was because that was in The Parent Trap.
And that one George Harrison wrote and sang.
Yeah.
I forgot that was in The Parent Trap.
Yeah, remember The Parent Trap with
The ones with Lindsay Lohan. We watched that
Oh,
together
actually-
at
Yeah.
your parents' house.
I don't know if I watched the Lindsay Lohan
Oh,
one.
dude.
We had to skip
I only
the
watched
part,
the old one.
the one part.
We had to skip a part.
Don't you remember when they're playing strip poker?
They were playing strip poker?
And she had to like jump in the lake butt naked.
What?
Wait,
This is like
is this Lindsay Lohan?
this was Lindsay Lohan.
She was a kid.
That's why we skipped it.
That's kind of messed up.
Joe was like, just like my Barbie doll.
No wonder she was messed up.
Love me, Barbie doll.
Just like a Barbie doll. Here comes her son.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
there's a lot of good ones. So oh, go ahead.
I'm a selective Beatles guy. There's songs I've listened to. There's songs I haven't. I don't get too.
That's
too
pretty
involved.
standard.
But
That's a normal thing that normal people do.
yeah,
I
I
wrote like 204 songs.
I'm kind of a normie when it comes to the Beatles. It never was, and I do like my 60s 70s music, but I feel like my tastes are a little bit more antiquated to certain.
I mean, you're
Antiquated, he
things.
says.
you're not really like an artist deep diver as much though.
I am on certain artists. We just haven't talked about any of the artists I
Mhm.
care about. We've only talked about the artists you care about.
The Beatles.
You think that I care about
I think you don't care about them, but you want to care about them so people will think you're interesting and cool.
I am interesting and cool. Not for that reason.
No, for that reason specifically.
Oh.
The Beatles.
But no, I don't know a lot about
Yeah,
this.
that was my big complaint about your last podcast about the Beatles, is you guys didn't do any Liverpool impressions of the Beatles.
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
All right.
I
So-
did a good Jerry Seinfeld impression.
That's not
do it. But sing a Beatles song.
Let me think. I have to get in character.
He did a
I'll set you up.
he did a brief John Lennon in the one movie.
What movie? Oh, we were
Forrest Gump. You did a brief John Lennon Forrest Gump impression.
Yeah. No wars,
No war.
no poverty.
No poverty.
They ain't got no poverty over there.
They don't got no legs.
No, got no legs, Lieutenant Dan. No,
Don Lennon.
Don Lennon.
Somebody shot that poor guy.
Somebody shot that poor man. No
Why'd they?
religion,
Why'd they do that?
because he read The Catcher in the Rye. It's all one complete circle.
We could have understood the entire cultural canon, Joel. We were this close.
I think those are the three things. I think that's it.
The Beatles,
Catcher in the Rye, and Forrest Gump.
So we covered everything.
I think if you want like the cultural canon, that is the three. Like I think that crosses over everything. There's no more, no less. I would agree.
Where does VeggieTales fall into the mix?
So VeggieTales, I think, shaped an entire generation. The funny thing to me about VeggieTales is meeting people that did not grow up in Christian households who watched it.
It happens so much. I know people who are like fervently anti-religious, did not grow up in a religious home, and they just love VeggieTales.
Well, it's because they did such a if you think about it, like what was around at the time, you know,
Yeah.
like the amount of content for kids at the time. There was some, but a lot of it was like Cartoon Network, you know, and VeggieTales was coming in like around that, you know, Toy Story era where 3D
Right.
animation was just starting.
Yeah.
And so it was not only utilizing new animation, but I think there's like a general gravitational pull sometimes when dealing with the youth to steer them towards topics of general morality. And I think there was lessons of like general morality within VeggieTales, Christian message or not. There was always things like be kind to people, don't
be selfish.
don't be selfish, or the Star Trek episode.
Don't lie.
The Star Trek episode was we're all different,
Yeah.
and that's okay. And that's not really like a Bible.
I can be your friend.
Nah. And that was kind of a big deal. And so I think there's a lot of that within and they also did a really good job of marketing in the sense that they sold it at Walmart and like a lot of like regular places. Whereas the issue with like Christian media in general is they relegate themselves to smaller pools, you know? And they're
Well,
like, we're going to sell it at the Christian bookstore.
I mean, do you think that like you're just like average dude, not really religious? Do you think he's just gonna walk by God's Not Dead at Walmart and be like, you know
No.
what, I'm picking up that movie?
No, that looks lame. But if you have these funny looking vegetables and with wearing a bathrobe, it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna pick. I mean, and parents, I think vet a lot more some of the stuff. Like I remember my grandma, rest her soul, she just picked up like a Pokemon VHS one time. Like she didn't know what it was, but she just like, oh, this is for kids. So she,
Pick it up at the checkout line.
pick it up at the checkout line, and then all of a sudden,
Grandma accidentally buys it.
then we were watching South Park, and it's like, Grandma, I don't think this is kid appropriate. But no, that's kind of the way I interpreted that. It's very interesting though.
Yeah.
VeggieTales has a deep history and lore.
VeggieTale lore. Well, you know what's also great about it is like within the episode or whatever, they had like the silly song. Like it's okay to be silly, it's okay to laugh. Here's something that's not related to anything that we just want to be funny.
Yeah.
Do our own thing. And
Yeah.
it's just to be fun. It's like they weren't so hung up on what they were doing to the point that they couldn't have fun and enjoy themselves and make quality and funny content.
Yeah.
Have I said funny enough?
You said funny 4
Silly.
times.
Oh,
Silly
Silly
songs.
funny.
oh, he's got the silly song. Do you want to know a fun fact about the silly songs with Larry while we're deep down? the
Yes.
rabbit
Yeah,
hole?
deep down
Okay,
the VeggieTales
So
rabbit
in
hole.
the second episode of VeggieTales, there's no silly song, right? There's none. It's just like a random like parody of a commercial, and they were just planning on doing like a silly little mid-roll bit every episode, not a song.
Mm-hmm.
But they found out that people were really upset that there was no silly song,
Yeah,
so it became a tradition.
that was
There you
back
go.
when people like wrote letters and
Dear
did-
Mr. Phil Vishnu.
Uh-oh.
Phil Mickelson,
What was his name? It was Phil
Phil
Fisher.
Vischer.
Phil
Vishnu.
Fisher. I don't remember. Bill
You're not
Fisher.
a true VeggieTale.
You're not a VeggieTailer.
Do not cite deep magic to me, witch.
I had like VeggieTales video games.
You
man.
you
I was
had
obsessed.
They made video games?
yeah.
What was the video?
So
They
there
had
was
a
like
video game?
Minnesota Cuke, right?
Oh.
So it was a platforming game that was it's like very reminiscent of Donkey Kong Country. And you had a little lasso and you could shoot the monkeys and then they just like kind of circle off the screen.
was it good?
I thought it was lit. I was 7 years old.
Well, that goes back to show my true dedication. I would go to the VeggieTales website back, when I was a little
Oh.
kiddo, and they had all the Flash games.
Yeah.
Websites used to be awesome back
Oh,
in the day.
yeah,
They had
dude.
all the Flash games. So VeggieTales had this huge list of Flash games, and they
Mhm.
had one that was you'd blow up the asteroids. They had these Larry Boy ones. They were fantastic.
Get kids off of Clash of Clans and get them back to what they should
Flash
be doing.
games.
Flash games. They should be downloading viruses on their parents' computer.
In the next Swine Before Pearls Gaming, we'll go to the Wayback Machine online, go to the VeggieTales website, play some Flash
Yeah, dude.
VeggieTales games.
You had a lot of VeggieTales toys.
I had the Jonah boat,
You had
which was
the
awesome.
you had the Jonah boat, and I think you had the Larry Boy car.
Scott, great Scott. There was an individual I knew who will remain nameless who had the Larry Mobile car, and it was fantastic because you pressed a button on the side and the wheels popped off, they sprung out, and the wings jettisoned out the side. It was amazing.
I think Fred had 2 of those, and he only let me play with the worst one.
That's pretty standard Fred move, actually.
There's a second Larry Mobile.
And it wasn't as good.
It's like, here's the controller that we don't use.
This just in. A second Larry Mobile.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. It was a good time. There were some things that scared me though about VeggieTales, and one of the things that really scared me was in the
Esther.
no, not Esther.
you're not-
Esther scared me. We had touched on this before the podcast how the Tickle Land.
There's an island of perpetual tickles.
Yeah,
right.
that really freaked me out. But what really also freaked me out was the asparagus.
They do a jump scare
They do a jump
Which
scare
one is this?
in
in the first one.
the Daniel and the Lion's Den story where they do like the dance and they're the three
Boom.
guys.
Boom, ba-dum,
Yeah.
ba-dum.
That really scared me. That was really scary.
I
Their-
did not like that episode.
Their eyes were lifeless. Their faces were emotionless, and I thought they lived in my basement. And I thought they lived in the cellar area in my basement. And I had a name for them, and it sticks with me for life. I was probably like 3 or 4 at the time, and I called them Ukigakas. And they lived in my basement, and they looked like the VeggieTales people, and they were going to steal my kidneys.
You're gonna have to hire a witcher.
I was gonna hire a witcher.
Okay.
There's a good
All right.
Ukigaka.
I got a good VeggieTales story.
Slavic folklore.
So, when there was like the Jonah trailers because they were releasing a full length feature film
That was a
about
big
Jonah.
deal.
I saw that in the movie.
That was
theater.
a
Me too,
big
yeah.
deal. That was
Obsessed,
a
my
big
guy.
deal.
I was obsessed. But there's one scene in the trailer where Jonah just like full on runs into this random like sign that's sitting up, like one of those hanging signs. And for some reason, I was obsessed with that scene and would recreate it all the time. basically I just run full blast into stuff and hit my head on it. And so my teacher calls my parent and says, "Hey, so just so you know, Trent, like 10 times a day, is just running full blast and hitting his head on stuff." And they said, "We know. He does it at home too."
Oh.
Is that why you're the way you are?
It might have had more to do with falling out the window.
Oh, boy.
Oh. So what is our opinion on the spin-off show 321 Penguins?
Oh,
Oh,
I really liked it. I remember we had all of the VHSs for them except for one. And
Which one?
it was the one, there was like this giant tornado thing and these lamp guys. There was like a colony of lamps that they saved from like this black hole tornado thing
yeah.
in space. And I thought it was the coolest one. Maybe it's because I didn't have it. But I was really disappointed that we didn't have it. It was the only one we were missing.
maybe there was something risque in there that your parents didn't want you to see.
Some
Penguin nudity.
uh-oh.
I love those movies. I liked them better than VeggieTales when I was a kid. And a lot of people, weren't super receptive to them, but
Well,
I think they failed.
part of
yeah.
that too was like, VeggieTales were super marketable,
Sure.
super iconic, and then you've got like these kind of weird
Sigil.
anthropomorphic
Vigil.
penguins,
Vigil.
which honestly, like, kind of, I feel like almost you could call out Madagascar and their whole penguin scheme for ripping off the whole 321 penguins.
Maybe.
I think you could a little bit. I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah,
But there is an aspect of that that's kind of similar.
I've always said anything that anthropomorphizes the same animal
But
is a ripoff.
I think that the 321 penguins were ripping off another show,
What's that?
which was the Mighty Ducks cartoon series. That was about these ducks that played hockey and they were in space and they did space adventures and they were a group of birds that did space adventures. So it actually rings both ways. But I didn't remember like there being like too much of an emphasis on like a message as much for those.
The grandma would always come out. It's like the good book always says.
Thanks, Cranky Kong.
Eat your peas.
Love me peace. Love me emperor.
Ooh, but did you guys watch the Larry Boys spinoff show?
The cartoon one?
Yes.
Joel and I used to watch those at our grandparents' house.
The rumor weed?
No. It's
Oh,
Steve.
the one with Alvin
oh,
and
yeah, dude.
Lampy.
Yeah, I love
Awful
that.
Dude,
Alvin.
oh man. Okay.
And there was
And then
the
the-
angry eyebrows.
Yes, and they had the theme song. They're like, "Oh, Larry boy,
Oh, Larry Bear. Dude, that was a pretty kick-ass show.
It was
And
awesome.
Jack based a lot of his personality off that show.
What?
You
On
100% did.
Larry
Which
Boy?
character?
Of the angry eyebrows guy.
Alvin, awful Alvin.
Alpha Alvin.
Dance with me, Lampy.
Yes.
Yeah. And then that was the thing. Jack had a lamp and he drew a face on it and he defaced his lamp in his parents' house because
It was my lamp.
because they did it in a show and he would dance with this lamp because they did it in the show.
Yeah.
That was like a huge part of your personality.
Still is.
I associate with that. When I think of that, if you showed me a lamp with a squiggly face on it, I'd be Jack Krasinski.
I remade that. I remade the lamp
again as an
Yeah.
adult.
as I was probably like 20 something.
We should rewatch
So,
some of those
like
tonight.
2 years ago.
We should
6
definitely
years
rewatch
ago.
some of that. Where can
Getting
we find
old.
those?
Oh yeah, you're old. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Fart.
Jack's getting over the hill here.
I just-
so-
I
when I was
forget about it.
driving on the way here, I was looking in the rearview mirror and I saw like some gray hairs. I don't know.
Oh.
Can you tell, Trent? Can you
Yeah,
see
you're
them?
so old now.
Let me see.
They're kind of like.
I
right
can't really
now.
see it.
I think you're a narcissist and you spend too much time looking at yourself.
As long as my hairline recedes faster than it grays, no one will notice.
Well,
I'm really happy for you.
I think you could go bald. That'd be fun.
Ooh.
You went through this whole phase of like wanting to look very professional for for your dental work, and now you're like,
No, I just
now
am
you look like a
professional.
skater. You're like, hey, bro, let me work on your teeth.
Nice teeth, brah.
Nice teeth, bro. Want to buy some meth?
You can't say stuff like that.
I can
Oh,
say
that's
whatever I want.
Do you think Jack was the one who sold to that airplane girl?
No, she had her own. She had her own dealer. She was really annoying,
Did you?
but I loved
We
her.
made full circle.
But I loved her.
We've touched every topic. We've retopped
right.
every touch.
So, airplanes, yay or nay?
I'm a big nay guy. Have you ever done a train trip?
No. You've done a train trip?
I've done a few train trips.
You're not just talking about like a light rail, like an actual.
No, like a
train.
legit, like sleeper cars, trains, passenger trains. That is a fun way to travel. That is a really fun way to travel, I have to say. It's slower than going on a plane, but you get to see so much of the country that you'd miss, I feel like. And you're not focused too much on. And the thing was, I did this in China too. They had these sleeper cars, and these old men would give me cigarettes, and I would dance. And
I see why you liked it now.
you'd look outside, and it'd just be the frozen Siberian tundra, and it'd be like negative 30 degrees outside. But yeah, dude, like traveling on train, we should do that sometime. Go somewhere on train.
In the field episode.
field, we
Bring
were-
them back.
We ride a train. That's so exciting. So how was the ride? It was a good ride on a train.
It was a transcendent experience.
So something I'm finding in my older age is I am becoming more and more interested in trains.
18th century steam powered locomotives.
No, not 18th century. I would say more turn of the century
DuPont.
commercial. Yeah, DuPont, BNSF. We were talking about the Union Pacific and just kind of what railways evolved
I don't know if
into.
DuPont has a train.
DuPont doesn't have a train.
Is this just your fantasy of being homeless again?
Me?
Yeah,
No. I very much would like to be in a home.
like the old train hopping homeless man.
No,
Not your dream anymore.
not my dream anymore. I had a chance to go on a train hopping trip with this guy. His name is Old Boy Hound Dog, and he lives out in Tennessee. And he was, I don't know if he's still alive. He was he was an interesting cat. But yeah, he was a permafried.
Oh, yeah.
So if you talk to him, he was always like, dude, how are you? And he was like, Joel, it'd be like the chillest thing to do is if we got on a train and we started just train hopping across the country. We should really do that, dude. It'd be sick. And I was like, yeah, dude. And then I never got to do that. I missed out.
Did you ghost him on it, or did it just never happen?
No, dude, I went to jail.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And then my perspective for life changed. But yeah. That was it.
I shouldn't have gone to jail so that you could have done the train hopping.
I know. Man, retrospect. Hindsight's
Yeah.
2020. But yeah. Old Boy Hound Dog. He was the one that introduced me to 25 Cent. He was this black midget who
I don't know if you
he was this black
Say.
little person.
can. Okay.
He was a little person of color,
There you
and
go.
he
There you go.
and he was a wrestler, and his wrestler name was 25 Cent because he was like 50 Cent but half.
What did he wrestle like?
Yeah,
Full size adults?
yeah, like full size adults, like he like for WWE stuff.
Okay, this is like Nacho Libre.
Yeah,
fighting.
Nacho Libre fighting. You can actually find videos of him wrestling online. It's pretty cool. But
Well, shout out to 25 Cent.
25 Cent, dude.
I'm sure these guys would love to have you on the show.
Yeah.
No, I want my number one fan on the show.
Dude, bring Dapper Slaps on.
Dapper Slaps, you have an open invitation anytime you want to be on the show.
He hasn't commented since we've been talking about him.
Yeah, he's probably scared.
It's probably because we never replied to any of his comments.
That's fair.
What were his comments like?
Pretty lit.
They were awesome.
Was that the one who like left this big comment about something you said?
No, he's
he was
just like a fanboy.
He was just like I want to play house with you too, is what he say. So just fun stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
an icon. We love Dapper Slaps.
Dapper Slaps is a good cat. But yeah.
All right. I think that about wraps it up.
All right.
We've talked about everything there is
Mr.
to talk about.
Kazakowsker.
Steven, censor that.
2 people are going to watch it. Thanks.
See.
Bye.